All right, guys, here we are for Season 4, Episode 10 of iZombie.
I just shat my pants.
So, iZombie, on a wild ride.
I like this episode.
It was okay.
Yeah.
Where do we open up on this episode?
Well, we literally open up at because I was like, iZombie, right? Because let me just set the stage here, right?
Sure.
We had a few episodes that I was like, I like the tone now. The show's doing this zany thing. They don't care anymore. Liv doesn't wear makeup. Who cares? Whatever. And then we had a few episodes that were more standard and like kind of bad or whatever, right? So I really want to look, but I'm too lazy. Like, who's writing which episodes? Like, are the ones that I like actually different people, or is the show just schizophrenic? Like, what's going on? Because this episode felt again more like the tone that I like. Certain episodes have like better jokes and funny cuts and like self-aware but like bad but like good, this weird thing that they're doing, and I like when the show's like that.
Do you think
That's
it
what works
is
for me.
A single writer that is making the ones you like? I feel like of this type of show, it's like a different writer every week.
It might be. That's what
I know that
that's
the
where I'm
director
interested
changes,
in
I think,
stuff.
every week.
Yeah, and that's what like a lot of these shows do. On TV, the writers are like more of like the director in like a film where they're kind of like driving. I remember we used to it's like this one episode of Kevin Sorbo's Hercules is weird. Oh, that was written by Autolycus. That was like his send up to like the Thing or whatever. Polonius, the other guy, the fat guy. The point is, this episode was different. It opens with some actual humor, with like they're giving crap to Major, and then Chase Graves comes over. He has a cane. I'm so happy that he's walking with a cane. He throws it away immediately,
It's as if getting kneecapped did something at all.
But they still show him. That made me so happy, right? And then there's like these jokes where it's like, "What are you known for?" He's like, "Grab ass, sir." He's like, binge drinking. Those sounds like, okay. It made me smile. I'm not like dying laughing, but I'm like, oh, the show has this tone that like works. And Chase Graves comes in to like, dress them down, but then he flips it over on Major, like, nope, we're all giving you shit. I like the kisses, right? All these things, and everyone's like this like bro atmosphere, which is how the Fillmore Graves thing should be. They should be these frat boy idiot like things, right?
And they are. More or less.
But sometimes they pretend they're like the elite commando team and all that stuff, and like they're totally not. They're just these people that happen to be turned into zombies. Anyway, so I'm like,
by nature of being a zombie versus a human, that kind of does make you an elite athlete.
Yeah, no, well, so like you have all the like elite physical things, but it isn't like you become this like disciplined. Like I've been doing this forever.
No.
My dad was in the Marines. This is my life. I want to do all these things.
A lot of these people were that, then became zombies.
Exactly.
So they actually are the best of the best of the best in quotes. It doesn't really show in that they can't really solve things.
Only in Seattle and only in a small thing. They do some stuff. The French guy's back. They have kidnapped one of the people in like Liv's organization. Right.
Yep.
The Justin Long, fake Justin Long guy is there. Right. He misdirects them and says that it's all brother love. They do this awesome like picnic basket thing where he's like slowly setting up a meal like right in front of him because they're going to eat his brain.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. We can just finish with that plot line now.
I did like the break in, try to get him out, scratch him thing. I think that was.
I didn't even love that. That's awesome that you liked that.
I thought that was a better play than what I was going to get.
What did you think was going to happen?
Well, from what they've always explained is that there's no consequences in the world and we always get away with things. So it was either like, oh, it was going to break him out and it was going to just get out perfectly, or for some reason, well, we can't eat his brain because of this, that, or the other thing.
Some dumb reason,
He's an epileptic. I don't want that.
Yeah.
Like some stupid thing. So him getting scratched, I was like, okay.
And it's a thing you can actually do through like a small hole in a window, right? And you're like, okay.
I was like, all right, that works. I didn't see them doing that, and I like that.
I think that we've always wanted this, right? We've always, because I think early on in the show, someone gets scratched to like save their life. It's like the Wolverine blood transfusion or some weird thing. It's this horrible choice to make or whatever. But like strategically, who's still a human and who's not can be used in these interesting ways. Yeah. And we actually saw something happen. Yeah, exactly.
I do want to know what happens if you eat a zombie's brain.
I know.
Is the brain dead? Can you not eat it? Can you not get any knowledge from it? Like, what is the...
They don't really talk about that. I have no idea.
Like, I wonder what is the actual difference between a zombie's brain and a dead person's brain? Like,
yeah, it's like a vampire trying to drink blood from a vampire. Yeah, I don't know.
And why couldn't a vampire drink from a...
Yeah, in some fictions it's like bad.
Well, I think it's because like they're not producing blood, so it'd be like, well, how long ago did you feed? Because that's what I'm pretty much getting.
I'm just drinking the
other.
So
if you just got turned into a zombie, I could probably eat your brain.
I would hope so, and I don't know. Like, it just seems we can't even get into like the way the zombies work on this show. It's too much.
Yeah.
right? The
because we don't
biology.
know. They don't even say ever.
Well, and just in order for your brain to still work, it has to still be a brain. In order for you to get cured and like be okay, you have to have kept the parts that you're gonna have later.
It's supernatural magic, though.
It
so
has to be.
You gotta add that in.
Is it though? It's like drugs and energy drinks. It's supposed to be.
I
chemical
want by
show.
season 7 them to realize that there's all these different like make believe creatures in the world, and this Max Rager drug combination was just able to skip right into being one of these things. Like already zombies did exist; they were around.
And it's all in these clams.
Yeah.
No, that's good. That's the whole plot there. The French guy ends up at like Brother Loves and even seems to be like chiming in a little bit. It's a little weird, whatever. Good times. But that's more for later. That's more for Blaine. Let's get out of the way. We got Isabel is staying, right?
They're knocking out all of these series Zombie High.
Zombie High. They keep reminding us of like other things on the show. Remember that whole thing where it's like, the main character is zombie? That's so dumb. It's like, I think it could work. All this horrible stuff.
I hate that self-referential bullshit.
That back.
Like in this exact episode, just to change it for a second,
Yeah.
They say like, oh, this is the episode of Zombie High where they ran out of budget, so all the cool things happen off screen, and then like, because that's funny, and then Clive does a whole bunch of action things.
He does 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah.
Yes. I wouldn't prefer that if you gave me like a whole menu. Here, build a show. What do you want to have on your show? But I like that a lot better because that's something than like the show has been before that. This is this kind of thing. All right. So they do a whole thing with like action movie plots. Where it's like I think he's going to Die Hard 2 or whatever, all these other things, right? I don't love that, but that's a thing. They don't always do that. It's weird for them to do that only sometimes.
Liv and Ravi seem to click sometimes and be like best friends and able to
be
jive really well.
Finishing each other's sentences,
but not always.
Stuff. Right.
And it's inconsistent. And I don't like it when it happens because it's not consistent.
Yes. So like one of the other episodes that I liked has them where they clap their hands in like the pickup artist room, and it has like a Quagmire like lights and stuff come out.
Yeah.
And Ravi's like, I guess if we have to, it starts taking going like take off their shirt.
Yeah.
That was another one where I'm like, that episode must have been written or produced or led or whatever by like the same person as this one, because like that that also had jokes and like things like that. Oh, we used to bang. Oh no, he's coming over here. That whole thing with like that's and again, like I'm not saying like, oh, this is perfect now. This is what I want, but like that's much better than it usually is. Like it's like doing a thing,
Yes, but I feel like when it's not something you do consistently, it becomes this weird
weird.
low-hanging fruit thing for me where I don't like it very much.
Okay,
if it were a consistent thing where I'm like, these are their characters. That's what they do. They're great chemistry.
Yes.
And clearly the actors do have good chemistry with each other, because when they do these scenes, they come off well. But by not doing them at all on the regular, you're just like, well, wait, what's happening right now? Why are you jumping into right now? Like,
and I totally and if I can articulate the feeling that you might be tapping into, like I think the show started doing something really early on that was like referential and funny, and we were like, no, you haven't earned this. You're not allowed to do this now. You're not allowed to be meta and like make jokes about yourself. Like, no, get out of here, or whatever. So like I had that feeling too, but over this season I've been able to like get past it, where I'm just like, if something is okay, I have to be like, oh, thank God something's okay. Something's kind of funny or whatever. When there's like 2 or 3 funny cuts in this, and like it's the same dumb jokes. It's the same like referential thing. They say like, oh, the way it chews up the scenery, I end up rooting for him even though he's the bad guy. And then it cuts to Blaine laughing, and like I loved that. And like the other one, was even better when the police hacker's like, this man is a genius. He's a virtuoso. He's like once in a generation. He's going like da na 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 and doing weird like his arms in his shirt, and he's like doing like a weird stupid dance or whatever. I literally laughed out loud, which I have never done for any other episode of iZombie.
is I think I've said he's like my favorite character, I think, on the show, because he's expressed a great range and does things, and his timing is pretty good. And him and Blaine get along together, and when they don't jive, I don't feel the same way about when Liv and Ravi don't jive, because Blaine at least goes like, I'm mad now, not having it, fuck you, I'm in boss mode. But you don't get that from Ravi and Liv.
I have to go talk to my dad.
You can say like,
there's no reason
she's
for them,
on this brain or that brain, but it doesn't seem to change the jiving, because they drive this way or that way. It's a very weird thing.
Every episode they talk pre-brain in some capacity, and that should be when they have this clicking banter. Sure. That should be how you know
that she's not on her brain.
Yeah, that she's on a brain, and that it's changing their relationship. And Ravi should eventually make a comment like, I want to do a little things, and she's like, not right now, Ravi. I have to check the perimeter. And he's like, oh, you're no fun on this brain, Liv, and all this stuff. Like that should be like an angle or something. I don't know why, and it makes me so curious and mad. I'm so interested in like what is going on in this show.
I want her to eat Nicolas Cage's brain.
Oh,
I want to see her on Nick Cage brain. I want him to have been in Seattle this whole time in some penthouse apartment.
Nick Cage, I want his face off. Just eating little bits of his brain. He could live with half of his brain. We could have 2 Nick Cages on this show. Last thing there, I guess, she just eats the brain, right? Is this the episode where she just fucking eats the brain?
Yeah, she just bites it. I didn't feel like cooking.
That's amazing. That's so monumental. We've criticized...
They've waited 4 seasons for that.
The culinary montages the whole time. We've been like, they're getting dumber and dumber.
No,
why would you do this?
Again,
what's going on?
it fit the brain. The meal fit the brain.
I
where
know.
he was just this guy, and I hate that shit.
Yes, but I hope... And she barely wears the makeup at all, if at all, this episode. I hope that she just never cooks again. I hope that they just stop. That would make me so happy.
Guarantee she's cooking in the next one.
know.
Like a crepe Suzette or some bullshit.
With like, just like 2 little pieces of brain. But it's so good that she just like, what? And just eats it. And Robbie's like, we're not going to do the thing? She's like, no. Like...
But this was an episode for
so
breaking
much.
the wall and doing the stupid bullshit, so like it makes sense
Throughout
that it
the
would
whole
happen in this episode.
yes.
Yeah.
But again, I totally agree with you. I'm still very angry that it's not consistent. But if this was just the show, I'd feel a lot better about the show, and I'd be like, well, yes, of course, nothing makes sense. Of course, how'd this person get get to this place? How come the guard didn't radio? Like, what's going? I wouldn't care about any of that if this type of stuff was every episode instead of once every 3 or 5 episodes, right? If this was just the tone of the show, it would just be this funny zombie show. It'd just be fine.
Have we ever seen that cop before? The one that gets like he's a famous guy. He's from Just Shoot Me and stuff. The one that
yes, we have.
Today.
Oh yeah. So like
I thought I did, but I couldn't. I was like I couldn't place the name or remember anything with him.
So now we're getting to the main plot, which is a whole other section of the notes. Elliot's here. He's giving confession. It's great, and then he dies, and I'm like, oh, and it's the same thing happened with the other character, where I'm like, oh, thank God you're back. It's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah,
You're dead. I'm like, no.
That's what they do in this show.
Right?
They give you what you want, and except for they don't.
And then I had like a very merciful 10, 12 seconds where I was like, I'm sad he's dead. And then it was like, she's going to have to eat his brain. It's going to be awful. Or whatever. And it kind of was. Kind of awful. I
She
don't
got
know.
her little hat, and she's roughing people
We
up.
even talked about it last time. She's like, I'm not wearing makeup anymore. F this show. I'm not getting paid enough. I want I want a big hat. I want a stupid costume. Get out of my face.
Can I rap? I want to rap.
I want a rap. I want hoop earrings and like a trifold rap-a-box
I want to rap, and I want to not solve that crime or even look into it.
I like refuse to go back, but I'm hoping that crime gets solved somehow, right?
It doesn't.
We just never know what happens. Oh, God.
It would be great if next episode they're like, all right, I think we had a break in the rap case.
Right? Oh, little drizzle, little rain, dirty drizzle, rain drizzle.
Dirty pizzle.
So the strangest part of this episode probably is when they're on the stakeout. I wrote down horrible hat and attitude. On stakeout. She goes to buy a fish. Robbie's watching like a dog video. There's weird cranked up 80s music playing. I'm laughing now because I remember in the moment like, what is happening? Because I'm already like, oh, this episode's like probably one of the better ones. This is gonna be all right. And I'm just like, what is going on? It was so strange. This moment on the show, I had like weird, like, am I on drugs? What's going on? It like threw me.
Then she beats a man with a fish on the dashboard cam.
Exactly. Oh, and here again, like again, the bar's very low, right? So like, you see him run out. It hangs on the dashboard cam. It cuts to that footage on the TV in like the office, right? We do an actual scene transition. We do like a real film style scene transition in the middle of our very flat show that doesn't do these things, right? I like that.
That was fine.
There's the fake
Like a good transition.
There's the fake CSI thing.
When the guy stubs his toe.
When she takes off her glasses, she like says a line and puts on or takes off the glasses. What is it? Putting it on?
I think she puts them on, turns to walk away,
and you hear wow coming from around the corner. That's so dumb. That's so perfect. That's amazing. What do you mean?
I didn't think he nailed that scream though.
No, and that's even better. That's even better. It's so much better that it's not good.
I think it would have been better if it was good.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm in a weird spot
like a
now.
dead-on impersonation right there, and him going, stub my toe, don't mind.
I like that it's bad because I know the show, if they did some of the stuff really, really good and they just nailed it, I'd be like, you're not going to be able to keep this up. Like, some of them are going to be really bad.
So you'd rather them just put a little shit in your mouth and say, here you
consistently
go.
just shovel this shit in, just like consistently. No, to keep a like consistent tone, so I know what I'm expecting and what I'm getting into. And if something is really good, I'm like, wow, good job, guys, that was great. Instead of like,
this actually looks like a secretary's office. Good job.
Yeah. Instead of flatness and like nothing, and then finally, oh wow, was that a joke? Guys, was that that might have been a joke, right? I can't tell.
All right, good to know where your bar sits.
Very low, on the ground even.
What else happens in this episode?
Well, we unravel more of the case, right?
Yeah.
So there was the informant. It's the guy it's Jin from Jin from the Cobras. Mm-hmm. It's the guy she fought on the Kung Fu Brain, and he says, "You were on Kung Fu Brain. That's why you beat me. Why are we doing this? It's amazing. Why would you have these references? What is going on? You're on season 4 of the show. Okay." And that guy had Elliot Eparetto, what's his name?
Whatever his name was, they were in cahoots.
They were in cahoots. He was his like informant. That's his game. He gets an informant and he like messes with him a lot and gets him to do stuff, right? So this guy is trying to go clean, or so you think.
Yep. Not really.
There's a vision of his butt being super glued to a seat and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Which is weird. That's very weird for Elliot to do that. And it turns out, spoiler alert at the end, he's the crime boss. He's the guy that the bad Fillmore Graves guy is working for, basically.
Presumably, or at least
it seems that way.
In power there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's the boss?
I didn't enjoy that too much.
No, that guy.
It didn't seem like a clever twist. It felt I'm like, all right, we'll just keep circling back on the only characters we know. We can't add new characters.
Exactly. That's the problem, is that you like reintroduce a character in an episode just to have them be the person, right?
Yeah.
This should have been 3 episodes before, and now you find out he's the guy or whatever.
It would have been better.
Right, him helping the cops, a little scene here and there, answering questions. He's, the bad guy's going to be there. They get there. He's not there, but he's like, I don't know, right? It was weird. Like, oh, what's going on, right?
Yeah.
And then it turns out he's the bad guy, and he's the opposite of clean. He's extra dirty.
Extra dirty. Is that pretty much everything that happened in this episode?
I don't know. Do you remember anything else?
That's kind of everything that I have in my head.
Isabel.
Isabel's, being
she dates one of the actors.
Yeah, she gets
from
a
the
make-a-wish to go out with one of the guys
Yes.
from Zombie High, and may or may not have gone all the way.
This actress is like growing on me. I was really not into her when she first showed up.
Well, she'll be dead end of the season.
Yeah, hopefully. She'll be a zombie by the end of the season. She'll be dead.
I think she'll be
She's like a young Heather Graham.
I think you're going to catch a thing where it's going to be like an emotional, heart-tugging thing. We're like, okay, I think we can actually solve this thing. All right, but they're going to shake her. No. And they cut to a funeral and credits, and that's like the season finale.
Just rain. I guess. I mean, that's probably it. But
or they'll survive her out to die on the season premiere.
Probably. Or she won't die, but then next season, they'll just say, it hasn't been the same since Isabel died.
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked the montages of like them watching this horrible zombie show in the middle of a horrible zombie show.
Yeah.
I understand that like that meta-ness gets old, and it's definitely old for me, and I totally agree. But like her like new boyfriend being like on his phone
and then
and then like things changing over time, and then like Ravi and like Isabel being super into it, and them kind of bonding over the whole thing. Like I was like, okay, this is what you should do, is like stuff like this. I liked the whole, like, you don't have to yawn and just, like, pretend to go to the bedroom or something. You just go. And then she's like, all right, and, like, piggyback rides to the bedroom. Yeah. And I'm like, things like that would be fine if they happened more consistently and this was just, like, the tone of the show.
That's the name of the show,
That's what I'm saying, right?
Is not consistent. So you can't really ask for that.
I'm just, I don't know. Like, I know all of the seasons are already filmed, and season 5 is probably filmed by now or something like that. But if anyone can hear me, if anyone, somewhere, right, this is what the show should be. Whatever you're doing in between these episodes, just do this, right? And maybe this will be better or like worse, or you'll learn how to do it better and better or something like that. Just be like this. Why do we have all these episodes that are like horrible?
I think that statement right there, though, is like, why are more often than not shit's horrible? I think because that's what the show is, and
Yes,
everything else is like, oh no, we accidentally did this thing. Oh, I hope they'll be okay with it.
It's so night and day, though. It's like for this to be an accident, it's like we had to do some sort of crazy experimental thing. Like it has to be like different people in charge of stuff.
Well, again, a different director each episode.
Yeah. Well, yes, but like the writers, like dictating who's dying and what's happening and the jokes and all that stuff. Like, because these jokes are not in the show normally. That is not how stuff works.
I wonder if they are in every one of them, and then like for time and things that sacrificed, or things are filmed in a way where it's like, I don't really think this is the time for a joke. We're gonna cut that out right now, and just like things just get going that way.
She's complaining about her makeup. We have to end the scene or something like that. Blaine, last thing. Blaine. Blane's Fraulein dies.
She doesn't just die. She gets murked by a whole bunch of hungry zombies.
She gets yoked in like the most gruesome way possible.
He also gets accused of selling this cure, and goes like, "There's a cure? I don't know what you're talking about."
Yeah, that's that scene that starts off with him lying. He's getting questioned and
stuff. He does seem to I don't know, when his like maid lady dies, he doesn't seem happy about it. He has a face on him that I'm like, oh, what are you saying here?
His face is like, this has gone too far. I don't like this.
But I wonder what he's actually making that face to. Like, is it everything? Is it just her particular death? Because, like, he was in charge, and now, like, he's slowly losing a lot more power, and seeing how much power his dad actually has.
I think that's even more of it, is like, this has gone too far, not because you killed her, but just because of, like, this is a scene from a whole different show, from a whole different
I gotta
movie,
put you in a well.
where you're killing. Yes, exactly. I think it's better if you're in a well. Yeah, we got some good dialogue between him and his dad and all that stuff. He's, there's the whole thing about the childhood and, like, you abused me, basically, and then him kind of being like, it's nice that we're talking, son, and doing all this weird stuff, right?
Do you think a zombie that's in full-blown zombie mode couldn't break his feet out of concrete blocks?
I don't know.
I feel like one could make an argument that he would be able to get out of there.
Do you want to get scientific about it?
Sure.
Because being in full-blown zombie mode doesn't seem to change the density of the stuff that you're made out of, right? So there might be materials, because you can be strong enough to bend bars, because you're just like applying force on like the outside of the bars. But depending on the materials and like what's happening, I don't know if you'd be able, if like you might just pull your feet out, like break them out of the concrete or something,
Maybe.
I don't know.
But you'd think that would be something that would happen one way or the other.
Yes.
Like, I'm starving to death, occasionally I get little things, I'd be pretty angry, and they do things that are out of their natural control when in zombie mode.
Yes.
So whether that means he breaks out perfectly or not, I don't even know if he's wearing shoes. Like, it might just be his bare skin that's fucking sealed in there. That's the horrifying.
He's definitely soggy. He's definitely not doing well.
Certainly.
I like the idea of him being strung along just on the edge of being like a Romero. Like he's just kind of feeding him just enough to keep him. Because when he came out, he was all grody, and now he's kind of like cleaned up and is doing better.
Yeah.
But you can tell something's wrong.
He's still not 100%
he's got a problem,
looking normal, though.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. All right, guys, that's pretty much everything that happened in this episode of iZombie. Let us know in those comments what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, internets. I just love watching JustDaggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.